So here I'm actually going to continue the discussion that David started and show you based on the same idea of that hybrid Illustrator and PDF file, how does it work when you want to import an Illustrator file into an InDesign file? So basically, when you import an Illustrator file in InDesign, it has been advertised by Adobe and already a long time ago that you don't have to export your Illustrator file to an EPS or something else and import that again to InDesign, which is really interesting because in that case, you just have your Illustrator file, you just place the Illustrator file into InDesign and you don't have to go through different renditions, let's say, of the original Illustrator file to put them into the layout application. But do you really know how it works when you import the Illustrator into InDesign? What is the process that is behind the curtains, let's say? So I will give you some hints here and show a little demonstration afterwards. So let's go back to the hybrid AI files. So when you save a file in Illustrator, this is where you get that message where Illustrator asks you if you want to make a PDF compatible file, which is the setting by default. And when you do this, this will actually, as David mentioned just before, this will generate an Illustrator file which has a second layer or second part of the file that is that PDF rendition. So you have the AI proprietary format and that PDF rendition in the same file. So this is where it is, where you actually save an Illustrator file. This is where you have that create PDF compatible file to create that second layer. So let me show you exactly how it works. So like here, I have that Illustrator file here, where you can see that happy penguin. And let's see what happens if I upload this into my InDesign document. So let's import the document. Sorry. So I import the document and that's the result. Oh, the mood of the penguin is not the same. And that's exactly what David showed before. That file actually has been modified outside of Illustrator. And when I opened that in Illustrator, I saw the original AI file. But when I put that into InDesign, this is what I see, which is actually the PDF layer. That means that you have to be aware that if you import an Illustrator file into an InDesign, it's not the Illustrator layer or the Illustrator native file that you're importing into InDesign. That's the PDF part of that Illustrator that is imported. So we don't say that you shouldn't do this. Of course, we're not going back to the old way of making EPS files. But the idea is to show you this so you're just aware that if something goes wrong later in the process, then you just have to have a look here to see if the PDF rendition or the thing that you see here in InDesign is exactly the same than what you have in Illustrator. That may help you to fix problems. If you still don't believe that it's the PDF part that is actually imported into InDesign, let's do this. I will import that time the same file where actually when I saved the Illustrator, I just unchecked the box PDF compatible file, which means that it's a strictly pure Adobe Illustrator file. And in that case, if I import that into InDesign, InDesign doesn't know what to do with this. It actually says that this is an Illustrator file. There's no PDF content. So if you want to import that file into InDesign, you need to create a PDF compatible file. And that proves that this is really the PDF part of the Illustrator file that is imported here. So let's go back to the presentation. Again, here, when you import an Illustrator file into InDesign, that's the PDF side that you're importing. And again, you just have to be aware of this. Don't change the way you do now. But in case you have problems, you know where to look at. And as I just said before, and here you have the text that is more readable that what was in the InDesign file, just says that you have to create a PDF compatible file to be able to import into InDesign, meaning you will import the PDF side of your Illustrator file. Let's get back to David.
Yes, and by the way, about the first 2 points that we did, if you ever wonder why your PDF file is so big, this is one of the reasons why PDF files can be much bigger than they should be, because they contain original InDesign or Illustrator content in it that shouldn't be in there, but that was saved by Illustrator, for example. One of the things we see is that if you remove that, and there are applications who can remove that content from the PDF, then your PDF might end up becoming a whole lot smaller afterwards because, well, that content that is not needed for printing anyway is going to be removed from the document. So keep that in mind.